course, we had to come up with the right kind of theme. Again, the involvement of Wu-Tang is heavily influenced on both albums, so it only made sense that the God himself, the RZA, made an appearance on production on both projects. Let's talk about, that's right, let's talk about the best AKA RZA track off of both projects, respectfully. Let's start out with Sons of Man's Tribulations.
I ain't want nothing no but a bankroll on the other side of 123rd Street Road. Nothing no but a bankroll on the other side of 123rd Street Road. Bringing it straight off the curb. Now the shit is tough. I got shit mad getting here to Texas track. With the guard you in the stash. I ain't want nothing no but a bankroll on the other side of 123rd Road. Yo, now we got facts. I ain't want nothing no but a bankroll. Want nothing no but a bankroll.
Life is reality, reality is life. People live in strife, the world filled with strife. The God's living right in his act, too many lack. Black on black crime, no rest, another victim laid to rest. Life is reality, reality is life. Niggas living strife, bitches living shicey. The God's living right in his act, too many lack. Black on black crime, no rest, another victim laid to rest. Life is reality, reality. Life is reality, reality. Life is reality, reality is life. Niggas living strife, bitches living shicey. The God's living right in this act, too many lack. Black on black crime, no rest, another victim laid to rest. Life is reality, reality. Life is reality, reality. I break bread, eliminate feds and deadheads. I seen the bloodshed, devils in cage, torturous slaves. From Rat Hook to Topkin, Fort Wayne to Albany. Galleries of artillery, a symphony, military. Some adversaries and ferries. Quarterback decision, physical collision. We left from holy lights with Christians.
A new incorporation, the rapid's operation, not a reorientation or orientation. More and more gold is what I'm tasting. Low down, international business players changing. Yeah, brains pound, gold pacing.
There was so much science going on right there. I know that went over Triple C. I can see Triple C watching TV in the corner. I can see like, I can give a fuck about the knowledge. Fuck the knowledge. That right there is RZA's hand at Tribulations of that Sons of Man. So you got to follow it up. As I always say around here, steel sharpens steel. Let's talk about RZA's involvement off that Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. That track we all know and love, Wake Up. Make you want to drop one tear. Just... Wake the fuck up. 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 Wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up, we'll get broke the fuck up. The wisdom we apply, son, smoke this shit up. And if it was sex, son, if I smoke this shit up. So wake the fuck up, we'll get broke the fuck up.
Yo, we are the street soldiers on the dark side of the planet. I give killing orders like a lieutenant. Hit the planet Earth and explode like a human cannon. The universal author, born to kill saga. Giving niggas head trauma. Bulletproof shield is made of gold armor. Brain surgeon is a virgin to my Persian mind urban. Scientists found killed and wrapped up in curtains. Casualties, flashbacks, now sent me back. I attack like a rat, serious as a heart attack. Professional assassinate a professor. Assassinate your mind state and broke the metal plate. Lyrical Nostradamus, psychotic mind of Saddam. Ex-con, attack the Pentagon with unorthodox firearm from Vietnam. I crucify them like Muslims, murdering Jews from Jerusalem. Now who's the supreme lyricist? You can't seize this. When I die, my name will be worshipped like Jesus. War visual individual, incriminate the criminal. My coach and nickel put holes in your face like dimples.
And again, someone was about to wake the fuck up, just wake the fuck up. I think we know how to hook. Yeah, Hobo, you planning to place your vote? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I'm asking the question. Tribulations versus Wake Up, the best RZA track.
This song, Wake Up, is something that stays in rotation for me. If you have ever heard one of my shows on TTT Radio, I'm sure you have heard it more than once, probably. Not too much, but more than once. Like, it's such a dope song, man. That beat is crazy. And it's right on the borderline with the yelling for me. It's right. It's like right. You know how I feel about MOB.
It's on the cusp.
I respect you, Hobo. I respect you, Hobo, for acknowledging that, because I know there was a lot of us that was wondering where this sat with you on that. So.
It's like right there. It's right there. But that beat, man, is just, that's one of my favorite beats, man. I love that beat so much, man. And I recognize it's an overall thing. Mr. September in the chat was saying that he always felt like Sons of Man was better. I have always felt like KILLARMY had a better collection of MCs than Sons of Man. I mean, I know Killer Priest and 60 Second Assassin in Sons of Man, dope MCs, but overall as a group, I've always felt KILLARMY was a little bit better.
Well, let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about the members of each group. For example, Sons of Man consisted of Prodigal Son, Killer Priest, RZA, and 60 Second Assassin. Former members that used to be in the group apparently were Shabazz the Disciple, Seventh Ambassador, and Supreme, who actually did some production on the album as well. And then when we talk about the list of artists that are involved in KILLARMY, it's a good list as well of a good amount of people. There's, let's start here with Ninth Prince, who's actually RZA's younger brother. Killa Sin, who's currently incarcerated. Don Pacino, also known as the PR terrorist. His Lord, Kinetic Nine, Shogun Assassin, and Fourth Disciple. So it's just a lot. It's almost Wu-Tangish to a certain degree. It's a large people for both groups. But again, the group aspects tend to work with anything almost Wu-Tang related back then. They definitely rode that coattail.
Shabazz Disciple had a single out too. He had his own single.
A banger.
Death Be the Penalty.
Banger.
Shout out to Priest as well. Killer Priest had his own solo stuff.
Killer Priest had some dope solo albums as well.
Killer Priest is dope.
Yeah.
Killa Sin, I think for me in KILLARMY, Killa Sin was just somebody that was just on another level lyrically. It was always it was always like, yo, he's not supposed to be on the bench, man. He's supposed to be with the starters, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think his presence alone was able to carry a lot for KILLARMY, period.
Right. I agree.
I mean, while we're talking about that, I mean, so are you going on the Killa Sin route of the group in this particular route? You on KILLARMY?
For which one is the better production? Which
is the better RZA track in your opinion?
Which is the better RZA track? I think the Sons of Man is a real dope one, but I think the way the RZA was able to flip the keys on the KILLARMY and kind of made it like that song is, if you are a diehard fan, that song is one of those songs. Like you mentioned KILLARMY, everybody always mentions Wake Up. But yo, my brother's not even a humongous Wu-Tang fan, like nowhere near I am. I play KILLARMY. This is like the first record that has to be played. And I'm like, you don't even like these
songs. It is a song I associate with for sure.
Yeah, well, wasn't that like off the Incredible Hulk?
Hulk.
Yeah, I felt like I'm going with KILLARMY on this. I feel like the beat outshined the rhyme.
Well, it was a clever flip. I mean, it wasn't a soul record. It was a TV soundtrack record, right? You're talking about the outro to the Incredible Hulk, the 1980s.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, to add on to that real quick, Trip. You know, it's kind of like sometimes when you think of, I guess from a production standpoint, right? When you know where the sample came from and you can associate it with what that image of the Incredible Hulk is and was and how that TV show is, it then lends itself to how you kind of make the beat and then want MCs to get on the beat and then the subject matter of the beat. So it's almost automatic. It's almost automatically going to be a win regardless. If used correctly, it's almost a win regardless.
If used correctly, yep.
So what does that leave?
I mean, it's such a banging beat, man. And I mean, the sample flip, like, I think we all know that's the Incredible Hulk, the ending. But I mean, just that alone, like to use that as a beat and to do that to it. I mean, but you're right. To your point, I think overall the beat does overshadow the rhymes. But I think that's just because the beat is so phenomenal.
We're also talking about the RZA. This one stood out, and it's no mistake that, you know, like I said,
it's prime Wu-Tang years too. You're talking this because Wicked came out first, so this was like 97 when this actually came out.
Yeah. It might even be 96 because the album came out in 97.
Right.
So single was probably like a year maybe before that.
This is big Wu-Tang years. You know what I mean? So it's gonna get love automatically.
Mm-hmm. It did. This was from my collective memory. When we're talking about Wake Up, my memory of it is being at Rock and Soul and hearing it play there. It's not like you'd hear on the radio. Ooh, what is that?
This is a pre-flood RZA, yes?
Not sure, to be honest.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think this might be after. I thought the flood happened in
early 90s, right?
Yeah, I thought it happened like 94. I thought the flood happened like 94, 95, if I'm correct. It was like if I'm correct, I thought it was like right after, maybe was it Ray's after Ray's album?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ray's album was 96.
No, Ray's album was 95.
95.
Yeah, I think it either might have been like right before or right after, because I know it was it Method Man, Ray, and then RZA, I think.
yeah.
As far
But Inspector Deck said RZA had beats for him, but the flood happened. So
yeah.
I'm gonna put my vote in. I'm gonna go for Wake Up, sir.
Ooh, Scan, and you were on the same page, correct?
Yeah, Wake Up.
I mean, it's no secret. When we talked about the best RZA track for round number 2, we're talking about Sons of Man's The Last Shall Be First, going up against KILLARMY's Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. The best RZA track in this particular round, which was Tribulations versus Wake Up, goes entirely. Wake Up takes the win on this one, giving KILLARMY